very good evening. Welcome to State of Business on Art Television. I'm Mariam Vijayaratna. Let's have a look at the headlines first. Manufacturing activities in June recovered marginally, the central bank announces. The businesses at the stock exchange would be positive than expected, brokers predict. News in detail. Does media have any estate of a regime? Will any regime be ready to listen to the media? So many questions. We bring you answers for all these questions. Event Management Association of Sri Lanka had a media briefing last Tuesday and requested the government to look at their plea. Within 2 days, the authorities attended to their issues. Listen what the Event Management Association president said at Tuesday's media briefing.
We strongly believe that the government listens to the media. I'll tell you why. Because a couple of months ago, I think somebody at a very high level in the government has said, okay, you all want to open your industry, go have a press conference, shout about it, say the problems you have. Because there seems to be a problem within the government where the MOH, the Ministry of Health, is on their own, doing their own thing, and then you have the rest of it. So what happens is, there's one section that is saying from the government, go out, make noise, shout, so that when you all shout, then we can tell the Ministry of Health to open your industry. But what we are saying is, why do we pay somebody? Why are we paying, whether it may be a minister, it may be a head of whatever committee, why are they paid a salary? To do their job, not to tell us, go have a press conference and shout, because if you shout, we can tell the MOH to open. And then, if there is a spread, what they can say is, you guys shouted, you all wanted, now can you see what you all have done? They want to wash their hands off. So we are not getting help with finances. We are not getting help by opening up the industry. And for them to say, you all shout, whole press conferences, obviously they listen to the press, the media. And for some reason, I think some are scared of the media as well, which is good, because you are our voice. We don't have a voice. Today, the politicians have the TV stations, TV channels, press com. You see, they're talking every day. But our voice is basically only through the media. So that is our appeal.
Central Bank yesterday announced that manufacturing activities recovered marginally during the month of June this year from the adverse impacts of the third wave of the COVID-19 pandemic. The manufacturing PMI recorded an index value of 50.4 in June 2021 with an increase of 8.3 index points from the previous month, mainly driven by the strong recovery seen in new orders. Central Bank reports said that the new orders, especially in the manufacture of food and beverage sector, increased significantly. The production, employment and stock of purchases sub-indices mainly related to the food and beverage sector edged up compared to the previous month, yet remained below the neutral threshold level owing to the disturbances from the third wave of the pandemic. However, the textile and wearing apparel sector indicated a deterioration in June as reflected from further decline in new orders, employment and stock of purchases sub-indices. The supplies delivery time continued to lengthen in June 2021, yet at a slower pace with the ease of travel restrictions in domestic front. Expectations for manufacturing activities for the next 3 months significantly increased with the anticipation that the economic activities would normalize in the coming months, supported by the rapid rollout of the COVID-19 vaccination across the country, particularly in the Western province, and the easing of mobility restrictions. Meanwhile, the global manufacturing PMI recorded a value of 55.5 in June 2021 with a decrease of 0.5 index points from May 2021. Manufacturing PMIs in European countries increased at a higher rate, while that of USA increased at the same rate. Further, the index values in UK and China increased at a slower pace. Meanwhile, India and Russia indicated a deterioration in manufacturing PMIs in June 2021. Purchasing Managers Index in the services category returned to the growth territory in June 2021, recording an index value of 51.3 after declining for 2 consecutive months. This improvement was mainly driven by the increase in expectations for activities supported by the relaxation of travel restrictions. New businesses sub-index improved in June 2021 compared to May 2021, particularly with the improvements observed in education and financial services subsectors. However, wholesale and retail trade, accommodation, food and beverage and other personal activities subsectors saw declines during the month. Business activities sub-index improved in June in line with the relaxation of the travel restrictions towards the latter part of the month. Accordingly, insurance, education, professional services and transportation subsectors saw improvements during the month. Nevertheless, wholesale and retail trade, other personal activities, accommodation, food and beverage and real estate activities subsectors continued to decline with a dip in demand related to discretionary goods and services due to the spread of the third wave of COVID-19 pandemic. Employment continued to fall, yet at a slower pace in June due to retirements and resignations amid halt in new recruitments in line with contracted business requirements. Backlogs of work grew further in June due to disruptions on business operations amid extension of island-wide travel restrictions and localized lockdowns. Expectations for business activities for the next 3 months picked up from May, with the positive sentiments reinforced by the relaxation of travel restrictions, while some respondents expressed their concerns with related to import restrictions. Meanwhile, global services PMI posted 57.5 in June 2021, down from 59.6 in May 2021, though signaling a further expansion of global service activities. We'll be right back after this short commercial break.
ඇත්තටම උත්තරේ ඇත්ත එකම එක සැබැඳියාවක ගෙදරට වැඩකට ගමනට එකම එක සැබැඳියාවක බැඳෙන මුළු මහත් රටකට. Good morning sir, how can I help?
SLT Mobitel එකම එක සැබැඳියාව.
ඒත් නෑනේ පොළගාවේ නම් තිබුණලු.
මම ගියා එහෙත් ඉවරයි.
කාර් එකයි කෝටි ගොඩයි ටිකට් එකයි දිනුම් දෙකයි සම්පත ලග්නවර්ම මාසිකම එකයි.
පරක්කු වෙලා වාසනාව නැති කරගන්න එපා.
ජාතික ලොතරැයි මණ්ඩලය.
Welcome back after the break. Head of Research at First Capital Holdings, Dimantha Matthew, said that the most significant feature during the week was selling pressure on board at the Colombo Stock Exchange.
Overall market was more or less on a bullish trend during this week. So with that, we saw the market moving up significantly faster than usual, and up to Thursday we saw 7 consecutive days the market has been up, and after that on Friday we saw a bit of a deterrent there where the market surpassed the all-important 8,000 mark in the SPI but failed to sustain that level and fell below the 8,000 mark again as selling pressure came on board in the overall market. So with that, what we are seeing is with the market having a continuous run, we are now starting to see a bit of selling pressure in the market, specifically in some of the illiquid counters that help the market for this run, especially in the initial days of the run.
The research head of the First Capital Holdings, Dimantha Matthew, also said that despite the fact that the upcoming week is going to be shorter, a lot of positive momentum could be seen. He also voiced that the foreign sector will also be positive in the coming days.
We feel that activity will further improve in the upcoming days as well. However, the upcoming week is a bit of a shorter week, but we feel that the positive momentum still could be there among the investors. Only disturbance would be from some of the illiquid counters that may move down in value that will affect the index. However, activity may slow down towards the couple of holiday days that are there towards the end of the week, and so there could be a slowdown in activity specifically on Thursday. Other than that, it's going to be a rather positive week for the investors, and we feel that they will be on a more positive momentum as well, similar to this week.
Trading at Colombo Stock Exchange ended on a negative note today. The all-share price index dropped by 19.50 points to close at 7,966.95, and the S&P SL20 dropped by 1.05 points to close at 3,030.27. The turnover was 3 billion rupees and over 219 million shares were traded. Up next are Forex rates. That's all we have for tonight. Have a great weekend. Good night.